Welcome back to another newly listed clip from the CSE. I'm your host, James Black, and today I'm pleased to be joined by NextGen Digital Platforms Inc. Being joined today by Joel Freudman and Kevin Zhou. Thank you again for joining me today and introducing your company to all our watchers.
Thanks for having us, James. We're very happy to be here.
Our pleasure. And without further ado, Joel, let us know what exactly NextGen is working on. What's really the gist of your business, and what brought you to market here in the summer at the CSE?
So within NextGen, we actually have two businesses, which is pretty interesting. But certainly we're involved in the tech sector, and particularly we're looking at microtechnology platforms. So what we would say are these are kind of smaller scale, earlier stage tech platforms in emerging industries that we think will be exciting to the market, good growth potential, but that we can get into at the early commercialization stage. We have two businesses. The first one we set up is called PCSections.com. It's an e-commerce store online, sell some specialized hardware through there, which, pretty standard business, but it's a real good initial business for us to set up. It is revenue stage. But our second business that we've been building now for almost a year, and which we think is the more exciting growth platform, we call it cloud AI hosting. This is a hardware as a service driven business where we're effectively leasing out computing firepower from specialized workstations to end users who are using it for artificial intelligence and machine learning applications. We think that's a real great growth area for our company, NextGen Digital, with the growth in the AI sector.
Right. And so, Kevin, I look at your job title, Director of Platforms and Marketing. So what exactly is the growth strategy, or how do you expect to get this computing power out to mass customers?
We have two different platforms at the moment. For the PC sections, the e-commerce platform, we mainly utilize a distribution method called drop shipping, where products are shipped directly from the wholesalers to consumers. This allows us to offer more competitive prices to the market. In terms of cloud AI hosting, the AI lines of business, we offer cost-effective and high-performance computing resources tailored to the artificial intelligence industry. So our solution is cost-effective because we provide our workstations through a marketplace platform where we are essentially offering data center services on a smaller scale. And by doing so, we are introducing competitive alternatives to the traditional players in the data center industry. And, because the workstations are offered on a marketplace platform, it allows market competition, and our services are affordable that even college students can, use our service versus the traditionally larger data centers where only the larger corporations can afford to rent the machines from them. Our workstations are also high performance. We are offering computing firepower by the pre-installed operating systems and AI softwares, which makes those workstations ready to go as soon as the clients connects to our virtual machine.
Right. So you've got this efficient way of getting the computation power to the customer or the end user. And then obviously the pricing is based on a market dynamic. So just tell me then, who's the customer? You mentioned college students, but maybe that is your customer, but who's really the key audience for using this type of data center and this computation?
So for our cloud AI hosting line of business, our target market is primarily includes like AI developers, startups, or smaller institutions that require significant computing power, but they may not have enough resources to invest in their own infrastructure or to rent from larger data centers. So through our cloud AI hosting services, we offer these organizations flexible and scalable access to GPU workstations that can handle complex tasks, and we enable them to run their AI models efficiently and in the most cost-effective way.
Good stuff. And Joel, you are an entrepreneur in the markets. You've obviously had other projects. Most recently, I've seen your work in the mineral resource space. Now, what excited you about this pivot into technology, and in particular, obviously, computation and AI? What made you want to do this as opposed to maybe doing another mining project?
Yeah, we have a pretty deep background in mineral exploration, myself personally or professionally, as well as our merchant bank, Resurgent Capital, had a number of deals in the resources sector, including most recently this company, True, just signed a $15 million deal there with a major producer. So, really great that that company's off on its own. NextGen's a really exciting new venture for us at Resurgent Capital because it marks, I would say, maybe our first or second, real foray into the tech space. Mineral exploration there's a lot of, it's a very crowded field in Canada, especially at the junior public company level. What we weren't seeing nearly as many of are kind of early stage technology companies that are publicly traded, but that are run by, a group with a lot of capital market sophistication and expertise. And so we see a number of companies where they're good entrepreneurs on the tech side technically, but they're less familiar with running a public company, and vice versa. You certainly see people with a capital markets background, even someone like myself who has less experience in tech. We're very fortunate to have Kevin as our director of platforms and marketing. He's very much hands-on operationally. He set up the PCSections.com website. He set up our our workstations for our cloud AI hosting platform, and he's going to lead operationally the build out of that platform. And we also have a number of other people with tech experience on our board, including one of our directors, actually Steven Serbobin, investment banker. He's worked on a bunch of RTOs, IPOs, financings for publicly traded tech companies. So he's really seen a lot in the tech sector too. We thought this is a great area to get into, go gradually, get our feet wet, learning some of these businesses, but recognize the scalability and growth potential of technology, especially in a less crowded field up in Canada, can far exceed a number of other sectors. And that's why we think NextGen is a very uniquely positioned opportunity.
Good stuff. And you mentioned Steve Serbovin and potentially others at Resurgent Capital. Do you want to just highlight anyone else who's on your team that you might want to draw attention to?
Sure. I mean, our CFO, actually, Robert Harrison, he's a public company veteran at this point, less experience in tech, although he's been in a number of kind of ancillary businesses, including, I believe it was radio, a number of communications businesses, but he's primarily kind of industrial. He does have a good handle on things like, a hardware business, how that might work. But I think we also get some expertise from our chairman of the board, Mike Rennie. He actually also a securities and mergers lawyer, partner at a firm called Wildeboer Delisle, which is like a Bay Street corporate transactional firm. And he's also worked on bringing a number of tech companies to market, and has also been counsel to a number of tech businesses, as well as so have others at his firm. So and then myself, actually, a while back, I worked on an esports deal several years ago, which is kind of interesting exposure. So we have a good little mix of capital markets, legal, financial, and tech expertise. And then Kevin, as I mentioned, is very hands-on operationally, and so Kevin's a gamer by background, and so he is very immersed in the field. But we've really been leveraging his developing tech expertise to help us operationalize some of these platforms that were initially just ideas, and he's really helping us commercialize them.
Professional gamer, Kevin, or just recreational?
Just recreational.
Okay, you and I both.
I hope I get a professional one.
Yeah, well, I heard it's actually a tough job, so don't be too quick, maybe. But yeah. Looking forward, so without saying anything you can't say, but obviously you have plans and milestones that you're seeking to achieve. Perhaps either one of you, whether it's from the product side or corporate side, just share some things that you're working towards that people can obviously look out for or be aware of as you continue to put out more news and progress around the company.
Yeah, for sure. So for our cloud AI hosting line of business, in the medium term, likely within the next 3 to 12 months, we are expanding our fleet of GPU workstations, and we are purchasing more workstations with more computing firepower. This will enhance our capacity to serve a broader range of clients and further solidify our position in the AI cloud hosting industry. And we are thinking about partnerships, actually, we have already established partnerships and referral relationships with some key consultants. And in the future, we plan to continue to do so to enhance our distribution network and further, improve our order pipeline.
Yeah, so as Kevin was touching on, we have a number of other different IT and software consulting firms that have referral relationships with us, so they can kind of send us business, they can bring us new opportunities, clients. So and that'll be a good way for us, as Kevin said, to expand our distribution and just have general better market visibility. At the corporate level, there's a real big milestone for us on August 7th, getting listed on the Canadian Securities Exchange. Very happy to be here, very happy to be a public company now on the CSE, which has been terrific. So I'm sure your viewers and investors know. We're very fortunate that we have a decent amount of cash in the treasury, probably somewhere just under $300,000. We don't have a very high burn rate. We are generating revenue from both of our businesses, which is great. So, that'll last us quite a bit of runway. Eventually, we're going to consider things like if we should do financings or any transaction opportunities. And I think that's also something that can be interesting. That's kind of maybe a longer term, right? Like Kevin spoke to, in the medium term, focus is cloud AI hosting, building up this platform that we've already got, starting to scale, attain meaningful amounts of revenue, and really continue to get involved in like a hot sector. But longer term, we already have a track record as NextGen of building two businesses from scratch, PCSections.com and cloud AI hosting. And we're certainly going to look to continue that kind of entrepreneurial drive, looking at other platforms in tech that we could either build or acquire, where we think we can get in at an early stage, help commercialize technologies, or even pick up businesses that perhaps they're overlooked, or they haven't been run effectively, or they're really early stage, but they need the expertise, capital markets, legal, financial, market visibility that a company like NextGen offers, backing them. And so we think that's kind of the longer term, area for growth, is building up the existing businesses while also seeing if there's anything else we can tuck into the portfolio of businesses we currently have.
That's a great overview. And Joel, just maybe lead our viewers to the last destination on this conversation, which is, where should they do more research? So you've got a website. Perhaps that's a good starting point, but other places maybe where you think someone interested in this business could do a little more research on the industry as it is now.
Our website is a good starting point. I think within the website, it's nextgendigital.ca. I think the most interesting document you'll probably find there is our corporate presentation. That has a couple of stats on the AI industry and the cloud AI hosting business. We tried to present it simply, but if you want a bit more data on how that business actually works, we've got that in the deck. You can also, there's a proliferation of AI related material online right now. If anyone's very interested, you can look at our non-offering prospectus, which is available on CDR Plus. If you want to get in the weeds, we have a whole bunch of industry data there. But I think for most of you, who are just kind of curious, what is this whole AI cloud hosting, business line, and really what's going on in the AI sector? Just some searching online will really turn up a lot of data, and people will see this is really an explosive growth area of the tech sector. And that's certainly why we as NextGen wanted to get involved.
Great, Joel. And thanks so much to you as well, Kevin, for joining us today. For those watching, it's NextGen Digital Platforms, trading on the CSE under the symbol NXT. Thank you so much.
Thanks, James. Thanks everybody for watching.